right. There you go. Da, da, da. Yeah. So what happened was that I wanted to load. Hey, Night Trap. Yeah. So what happened so I wanted to load one slaughter map, corrosion slaughter map. Then my computer completely froze, and it turned out that the mod that I found on Nexus Mods was out of date. So then I just quit. I just exited and then I looked for another mod called Helden, which is like an Amora master level. Did the same thing, and the same issue happened because that mod again was also not updated. Hadn't been updated for a few years, which means because like basically those two mods were only updated on the mod portal, so they basically neglected the ones that are all on Nexus Mods. So I gave up on that and just thought, hey, it's been some time since I did some Dark Ages, so I'm just going to do that just now. Just a bit of fun. And I'm going to continue where I was last time at Siege. So let's hope I'm not too rusty. So now we're back to Dark Ages. Yeah, I don't know for how long, because like I'd rather these days I'd rather play Eternal, but Eternal is being a bit of a pain at the moment because of Nexus mods and a lot of mods not being updated for the current version of the game. So
we should be ready to leave as soon as the cruisers are.
Just have to get back to this. I've been playing so much Eternal lately that I feel like I'm completely out of practice.
Marking the Hellgates now.
And this is UN, so let's see how that goes.
The Creed ship hasn't moved outside the combat zone.
Energy production is down because of the war. This is his district.
How's my mic volume compared to the game volume?
Weaponry deployed.
Defensive turret took some damage. Slayer.
Weren't you the one that said that you liked Dark Ages because it had similar combat to 1994 Doom 2? Yeah, I did say that. I did indeed say that. I like classic Doom. Come on, do your thing. This is new. Good audio, good, perfect. That's good to know. I mean, Dark Ages is a good game. I don't get all the hate it gets. I just think it just needs a bit of tweaking and a bit of combat depth. So I'm really out of practice here. It's crazy. I love Classic Doom as well. I feel like a lot of the hate for Dark Ages from some Doom Eternal elitists. Yeah, there's a lot of that too. And you know, like I'm a Doom Eternal elitist. I love Doom Eternal more. It's probably my favorite game ever. But I can also appreciate this game, right? It's always nice to go back to, you know. Let's get started. And it's a different, you know, it's a different experience, right? Like Eternal is all about skill expression and, you know, muscle memory and movement, and you know that there's a lot of skill involved in playing Doom Eternal. This is a bit more of a chilled experience, and in a way, for streaming purposes, this is a better game because like I feel like I can actually play the game and speak to you guys at the same time, which is something that I can't really do with Eternal because it's so intense. Not sure if that makes sense or not, but I will say Dark Ages is probably the one I struggle with most simply because of my bad ability to focus on tons of enemies. Okay, really? Alright. Oh, interesting. That's an interesting take. What happens here again? I know they've updated a lot of shit here, so I don't know what they've done again. But it is like, you know, it really, I know the game gets a lot of hate. I think, wait, think of this guy. I think the game gets a lot of hate for a few reasons. I think, obviously the simplicity of it compared to especially Eternal. I think another thing is the requirement for RTX cards, which is really, really retarded. They didn't have to do that, you know what I mean? So, and that's something I can really get behind, you know? I don't like that either, but like, but the quality of the game is there, I think. You know, like there's a lot of work that's been put into this game, so, and I appreciate that. But yeah, there are issues with it, and I know that, you know. So yeah. But I still like, you know, now that I'm coming back to it after, I don't know, maybe I haven't played this game maybe for 3 weeks, I think. I kind of like, I'm enjoying it as I was like last time I played, you know. It's either the fact that I just suck at hordes, or I haven't tested my ability to deal with a ton of threats at once. To be fair, there's an issue with every Doom game, even Eternal. I agree with you. Yeah, I mean, Eternal isn't perfect. Not perfect at all as a video game. But I really, for somebody like, I don't know, Eternal just fits my brain a lot more than this game does. I don't know if that makes sense, but like when I play Eternal, I feel like I'm almost like my brain just switches off, and it's all instinct. I'm not sure if that makes sense or not, but that's how I feel. Magician, hey, what's up, man? So I tried to play Eternal earlier, and my computer crashed once because I tried to load both Corrosion, Slaughter Map. That didn't work. Then I tried to load up Halden, you know, the other Payoyo map, and that didn't work either. So I just got frustrated, and then I thought, fuck it, I'm just gonna be playing Dark Ages. So that is the reason why you're seeing that right now. I understand Eternal is great once you're in the flow. It feels like it's in your veins. It feels like your veins pump with the code. Yeah, so Magician, what happened is that I right now I'm only using the mod injector, so I've completely stopped using the mod portal. And I've tried downloading what's it called, the Rose's Slaughter map. And it turns out that that mod is actually out of date because they've only been updating it for the current patch, but for the on the mod portal. And the same goes for Helden. So one mod after the other I tried loading in, and they both didn't work. And then I just gave up and thought, okay, fuck it, I'm just gonna do some Dark Ages. So I just got frustrated and thought, okay, I don't wanna, because my computer basically just crashed twice when streaming, when trying to load up the game. So I just got just frustrated, you know? But that's the story. There you go. With enemies not working, Helden should work, I think. I remember KO saying you got injected multiple times for this mod to work. Now it was just Roll Den. No, Roll Den worked fine for me because I did that yesterday and that was totally fine. But when I did, so Helden just didn't even want to launch at all. Like Doom launches and then it just like completely, it just crashes. So. Damn, bro, another treasure's lost. Peo can't seem to fix the issue. Yeah, there you go, right? So basically the only way to play it is to, I don't even think, I think he even removed Helden from the mod portal, so I can't even play it there. Rosen's still there though, but yeah, like, the mod portal just messes up my computer, man. It really messes everything up for me. So yeah, I'm just playing Dark Ages out of me not being able to play Eternal. And that's okay. Like, it's also, I'm also just enjoying coming back to it for a bit. Maybe I'll do some, ah shit. Maybe I'll do some Eternal afterwards, I'll see. Are there any level mods for TDA yet? Nope, not as far as I know. Nothing yet, as far as I know. So, so I think for now it's only going to be
Cache look.
base game and Ribitorium, which is a bit of a shame, right? But okay, bro, I gotta go to sleep now. But yeah, good night. Good night, magician. See you soon, and thanks for joining. I almost forgot to ask you, but have you tested out the console commands yet? Which? Oh, the ones that you sent. Sorry, so I didn't reply to you. Sorry about that. I saw your message just earlier. I was in the middle of something, so I completely forgot. I haven't tried it because I basically needed them when I was on holiday with my really shitty laptop to get more FPS. But now that I'm back on my regular PC, I don't really need them anymore. But really, thanks for sending them over because I really needed those. But no worries at all. All right, what am I going to upgrade now? There you go. Ivan, yo, hey man. Let's see you on again, Ivan. Did you, Ivan, did you send over your recording, by the way? What the fuck on? Gotta do these clowns first. Unfortunately, YouTube does not display. Are you sure just by putting in a link? That sounds weird to me. You can't just send a link? Interesting. Okay. That's, No, I can't see it. No. Try to replace... Try to put in YouTube, instead of like a dot, put in YouTube .com. And then maybe it won't interpret it as a link. That could be it.
Hellgate's eliminated.
The turrets are back online. Get the transports ready to launch.
We're beginning to evacuate civilians now. Thank you, Slayer.
We got a bunch of secrets here.
The last cannon has been destroyed.
Dennis, what's up, bro? How are you, my good sir? Balls.
Seismic activity detected near the wall.
Shield is down, and the gate is taking heavy damage. Slayer, there's a turret in the courtyard you can use to hold them off.
Third section. Amazing. Thank God I have this streamlined mod because I think had it not been there, I probably would have quit playing this game and played Eternal instead because it completely breaks the pace for me. Such an annoyance.
They're inside the castle. We almost have everyone out.
Doesn't let you send it. Okay, fuck. That's a shame. Maybe just comment on one of my... Send me... comment on one of my videos and just put a link there. How about that?
Vera, they're coming for the heart. I'll draw them away from the lifeboats.
Don't go alone. Commander, he signed off.
I did. I guess it's gonna work. Yeah, it should work. I mean, if you can't send a link, I mean, post a link on a video, then there's an issue. Yeah, it's probably gonna work. I don't see why it wouldn't. Story DLC for this game will be great. I agree. I hope it. I mean, I really hope it is. I really, really hope it is. I don't really care about the story that much, but like, they really have to work on the gameplay, like adding more mechanics to it. Because right at like in its current state, it's a bit too basic. They need to add something to increase the skill level, right? Sadly, I can't rip and tear anymore because school is coming. Ah, shit, bro. Sorry to hear that. Sure, I mean, I'm sure you'll be able to spend at least a bit of time on it, right? Maybe an hour or so during the weekend. They didn't disappoint with Ancient Gods, and you have to consider they developed that during COVID. Yeah, I think the difference is, you know, with Tag 1 and Tag 2 is that they already had a really good, they had an amazing base with Eternal, you know, with the base game. I think while I love Dark Ages, I can also appreciate that there's stuff that I think is missing. So I hope that they can raise the level, you know, and improve certain things. I don't know what that would look like, but But master levels, I'm definitely looking forward to. I think that's what this game needs. You know, I think. And Repertorium, you know, I had my fun with it, but like I'm pretty much done with that as well, right? So that's why like I've gone back to Eternal because Eternal is just it's like such a blast to play, and you know 5 years later I'm still really enjoying myself. So yeah. We need a sword as a weapon. Yeah, I mean, if I'm fine with them adding more weapons, I just need that they need to have a mechanical purpose, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like right now, essentially the only melee that has a real purpose is, I mean, they all do damage. Obviously, that's what the main purpose is. But the only melee that has a mechanical purpose, I'll say, is the flail, because it gives you armor. So that's equivalent to the flame belch in Doom Eternal, right? So if they add a sword, you know, I want it to do something, you know, because like you know, the what's it called? The gauntlets, you know, they're I love them, and they apply shock, which is great. So that's a purpose, yeah. But all that does is basically increase the damage that you do once you apply shock, right? But other than that, not much. And then you have the Dread Mace. That's just like mega damage. And that's it, right? I mean, all right, give me your little. Ah, look at this bug. So dumb. Yes, the mechanics and overall vibe of Eternal hits me more for sure, but I love TDA. I mean, I love TDA as well. I think, you know, like, what's funny is that, you know, everybody's like, the discourse about modern Doom games essentially is, you have people who are either in the Eternal camp or the TDA camp. I mean, sorry, Eternal camp or the 2016 camp. So that was like a long beef to begin with, and you know, those two crowds essentially hate each other, right? Or they really like to debate with each other. And now that TDA is out, it's essentially everybody was like, okay, the people who loved 2016 are now saying that actually TDA isn't better than Eternal. So it's like, you know, it's not because one game is amazing, which I think Eternal is probably, like, to me, a 9.5 out of 10. It's not because Eternal is 9.5 out of 10 that TDA being not as good is trash. You know, like, TDA for me is still like an 8.5. Which is still considerably, you know, which is still pretty good, right? But as soon as, it's funny, like in a franchise, as soon as you have something that's really good, that's considered like a masterpiece, anything that follows that isn't great is considered a disappointment. You know what I mean? And that's a bit of a shame. Like, I'm very happy to admit that, to me, like, if I had to rank the 3 games, Eternal goes number 1 without a doubt, and then I'll put Dark Ages number 2 and 2016 number 3, because 2016 is my least favorite. It doesn't mean, but again, 2016 being my least favorite doesn't mean it's a bad game. It's a great game. But I just don't like it as much as Eternal or TDA, right? Yeah, Cheaps do what cheaps do. Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of bandwagoning, if you see what I mean.
Commander.
And all Doom games are great.
Team ready to sweep the
Doom
forest
3 to
from
me is not great. But I agree with you that all the other Doom games are great in their own way, but Doom 3 to me isn't great. I really don't like Doom 3. It's hard to compare all three because they're so different. They are, yeah, I know, but like, they are different, but you're still able to say one. It's a matter of opinion. Like, if you like one more than the others, that's also fine, even though they're different. You know, so. But I really, I mean, yeah. I've had a lot of fun with this game for sure. I just don't think it doesn't have the lasting power. It doesn't have the replay value that Eternal has. Like Eternal, I can still play today, 5 years after, and really have a good time with it, you know? This game, like, other than the campaign, there's not much to do at the moment. Like, Rip Torrent to me doesn't really count. So I have to lock in here because what do you want from TDA except for more content? Well, I want just a simple thing, right? I think that right now, the way the game is built, if you want to discuss like resource management, the only way that you can restack armor right now is to essentially either use the flail or use Ground Fissure, which is one of the shield runes, or throw your shield on, obviously like shield guys, right? Heated shields. The issue with that is, number one, Ground Fissure is very situational, so you have to rely on projectiles for that. Another thing is the flail. What I don't like about the flail is that it really makes you vulnerable. I'm not sure if you've ever experienced this, but like when you use the flail, very often you get hit because the load up time to hit somebody is a lot longer than it is for the gauntlets, for example. I understand that it's long for the Dread Mace because the damage is so high, but that's not the case for the flail. So the flail sits in between those two when it comes to load up, like activation time. And then I don't feel comfortable like hitting a group of zombies or soldiers with the flail or even heavies or whatever. So to get armor that way that's not something that I find it interesting. And obviously then you also have what's it called, using the shield to throw at shield soldiers, and I think that's very situational once again, because if you don't have any shield soldiers to throw your shield at, then that's basically it, So it's a very, what I love about Eternal is that you're basically, you have a flamethrower, the flame belch, and that allows you, and that's on cooldown, and you can use it whenever you want and on whoever you want, and it just gives you a lot more freedom. And you don't have that in this game. In this game, I feel like, whoa, shit, you're a lot more limited, and that's what I don't like, really. But like, it doesn't mean the game is bad again. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that. How are we not dead? So just more flexibility. So I wouldn't mind, for example, them adding another mechanic, or I don't know, like some way to. I don't know. I'm sure they're going to add another melee weapon, but I just want them adding the melee weapon to be something that adds some sort of cool mechanic to it, or like a ground sort of sorry, not a ground fisher. I mean a shield rune that adds mechanics. Something interesting, right? And Eternal is way harder. I wouldn't be able to play that game with 150% speed. Yeah, no. Eternal is fast to begin with, especially when you take into account, you know, movement possibilities, meat hooking, ballista boosting, and all these things, right? Then it becomes a very fast game, for sure. The shield is great at first. I was skeptic. Now I love it. I mean, the shield is amazing, and it has a lot of use, but I think, you know, shield for me is like, you know, obviously block, and then throw. But I don't know. I feel like there could be something else to it. Another layer of depth. You know what I mean? So that's all, you know. Did I get this challenge done? No. Okay. There we go. But yeah, I mean, one thing that I loved about Eternal is that it took me forever to get good at that game. It took me a very long time, right? And once I got really good, I was like, okay, I can actually get better. Like, there's another tier of skill to that game, right? Like, if you look at my videos and you look at me play today compared to when I played, like, a year ago, because I have videos like from it, because I started my channel about a year and a half ago. Like, if you have a look at my Eternal gameplay today versus what it was like a year and a half ago, there's a clear improvement in terms of, you know, my quick switching and my movement and all that. And I've been playing that game for 5 years. You know, it just goes to show how, you know, there's a crazy skill level in Eternal. And in this game, there isn't one. And I know why. It's because people probably complained that Eternal was too complicated, that there was too much to learn, and getting good took forever. So then they decided to flatten the you know, the skill ceiling, and, you know, make things a lot more mechanically easier and all that. So that's how I look at it. And that's not a bad thing, you know. It's just like it's a casualification of Doom, right? And that's okay. Nothing wrong with that.
Here, the Slayer has reached the cliffside barracks.
Eternal is fast if you know how to play it properly. Exactly. That's where it is. Yeah. That's precisely it. If you know how to ballista boost, if you know how to meat hook correctly, all these things, then it becomes a very fast game. Eternal has way more depth to the movement, etc. Yeah, that's it exactly. You know, so it's like two very different games, right? But one is just a lot more casual. Like when I play this, for example, you know, I have a way easier time. I think this is a better game for me when I stream, because I can play the game and at the same time I can interact with you guys like on a regular basis. You know, like I can easily swap between screens and have a look at both and multitask. With Eternal, I'm so focused on what I'm doing constantly. Like I'm so, you know, engaged in what I do, that I don't really, like, I have to pause the game pretty much like I'm doing now to have a look at what chat is saying, right? So it's not to say that there's not moments in this game where I'm engaged and have to do the same thing, but in Eternal, I'm just like, I have a really hard time looking at chat. I have a harder time interacting with chat when I'm playing Eternal. That's all I wanted to say. Have you tried max sliders? I've tried max sliders, yeah, a bit.
The cannons in the watchtower.
Not a
Clear
fan
it
of max sliders, but I am a fan of. I've done a video with. I played Harbor of Souls with max damage to me, and then. So max damage to player, and then 150% speed, right? And then maybe did I put in something else as well? And that was fun. But like everything max sliders, no. I played a bit of it, but I didn't find it. Didn't find that enjoyable. It's really hard, but it's not. It's hard, but in not a good way. Because like in this game, there's a lot of bullshit deaths to begin with. And if you play that way, it just amplifies that, right? And Eternal devs just thought of every little detail. I feel like TDA is more like a cinematic spectacle. Yeah, TDA is more like the Uncharted experience, you know, of Doom, right? Like a lot of cinematic stuff, and so. And again, nothing wrong with that. But like when you're somebody like me who comes from Eternal and loves Eternal,
This site
you were like, I wasn't hoping for Eternal Part 2,
built to harvest the raw materials
but
of the
I was
undead land.
hoping for, I mean, you know, a game with maybe a bit less mechanical depth, but not way less. This is way less, right? Yo, Sharpie, what's up, man? Good to see you again. It's been a while. So that's how I see it. But again, I have to reiterate and say that this game, the stream is a lot more fun, like because I can actually engage with chat, and I'm sure it's also, you know, it's also for people who don't know this game and who are curious about it, you know, and watch streams to see whether it's for them or not. This is it's enjoyable for them because they can easily figure out what's happening, because like everything is well communicated to the viewer. You know what I mean? Eternal, especially when you watch really like skilled players play Eternal, if you're somebody who's never played Eternal ever, you get so confused by what's happening, because like, you know, the weapon switching, you know, you're kind of like, what the fuck is this, you know? And then you have the Meat Hope with armor flying back at you all the time and all that. Everything is a lot more transparent here, which is great for the casual viewer, right? Eternal is chaos. Exactly, yeah, it's chaos, and it's chaos, especially for the person who's never played a turn. Funny though, when Eternal can't come out, people talked about it the same way they talk about TDA now. Yeah, when Eternal came out, it got a lot of shit too, right? Because people back then were stuck on Love 2016 and thought 2016 was a perfect game and they should have done 2016 Part 2, which I disagree with. I'm happy they did Eternal and took 2016 and sort of went a step up when it came to mechanics and depth and all that, right? So
We can enhance your
I thought that
weapons
was really,
inside
really
the
good,
forge.
actually. That was a good choice. I'm not so sure this game, however, was the right choice. It's good, but to me, it falls short compared to Eternal, right? But also, you know, when Eternal came out, I just knew like they're gonna have a hard time doing better than this, unless they do like a sort of like a successor to Eternal
High
with
levels of demonic presence near the forge.
similar, you know, like a similar gameplay loop. But otherwise, and even if they did that, I'm not even sure they would succeed in doing so, because in Eternal they just found the perfect balance. Control chaos if you're a good player. Yeah, exactly. It is control chaos. If you know what you're doing in Eternal, like the game just flows so perfectly. It's so good. Okay, what's happening here again? Get some shot going. Man, these guys do so much damage. Like, it's insane. That's one thing also I don't like about this game is spotter damage. I think it's way too high. Now we have a clown.
Warning. Agaddon identified.
I saw you make a lot of mistakes in quick switch in Eternal, like yesterday. I mean, possibly like, I mean, that happens. Obviously, like, you know, also keep in mind that in Eternal, like, quick switching can be really affected by your frame rate. So if I go from 250, which is where like that's where I want my frame rate to be at. If I go from 250 in a very crowded area to like, you know, 180 or so, it messes up my frame rate because I mean it messes up my quick switching because like I'm used to a certain frames per loading up a weapon and shooting it and then loading up another weapon, if you see what I mean, right? So that, you know, I think most people who play the game a lot will always make mistakes in quick switching. That's just you know, that happens to all of us. Ah, fuck. Someone have to do it. There you go. Yeah, but in Eternal, it's easy to make mistakes. I'll tell you that. You can watch the craziest players. Once you put them in a really tight space with a lot of stuff happening, it's like very, unless you're a complete machine, you know, I think it's really hard not to make little mistakes like quick switching mistakes and things like that, right? That's part of the game. But for me, like my quick switching mistakes very much often stem from my frame rate being unstable.
The mine is open. That heart powers the forge. It needs to be reactivated.
Man, I feel so rusty in this game. Think. The maximum, no. I can put it up. The problem is, like, I've had some, my CPU gets overloaded when I play this game. Because this game is very CPU heavy. And when that happens, my computer just shuts off. So when I first started playing this game, I put it on VSync off and I was at 140, 144. But like my computer was heating up so much, so I decided to cap it at 100. But there's no maximum FPS in this game. You can go as high as you want if you have a crazy graphics card. I have your World Den video open to watch later. How did you like it? I was there on Peyo's stream when he was making it. It's it was my second time playing World Den. I played it the first time when it came out a year ago, and I really like it. I mean, with the exception of it crashing once, it was an amazing experience. It was a really cool level. I really loved the skybox, you know, where everything looks really dark. I think it fits it very well from an aesthetic point. I love the combat encounters also. They're really cool. There's like a gore nest area in the open mountain section that I really enjoyed. I thought the area where you're fighting that giant Pinky and the giant Archvile was like a bit gimmicky, but that's okay. Still, you know, pretty fun. Forgot about this part. They changed this. Oh shit. That's not what I wanted to do. It's okay. And that's one thing I don't like in this game is because all the mechanics are so streamlined. Everything is so streamlined, you know, that sometimes the game misunderstands what you're telling it, right? So sometimes, you know, like when I just shield bash into an enemy that I don't want to shield bash into, and that can be frustrating because that can lead to deaths, right? So encounters came out balanced. I was bitching that they felt easy.
Power activated. 2 more switches left.
World End. I think, you know, like if you, it is a rather easy level. I would put it on the same level as, on the same difficulty as the World Sphere Master level. Actually, you know, the vanilla World Sphere Master level. I'd say it's about the same thing. I think there's just some encounters, especially when you trigger the second gore nests, that can be a bit tougher. But other than that, I'd say yeah, I'd say balanced, pretty balanced. What? See? What the fuck was happening there? Like, there you go. Oh man, fuck this. I'm gonna play a bit of Eternal. Like I'm a bit fed up with this game. I think you guys pretty much saw me there. I was shooting the shield at his warmed up, heated up armor, and nothing happened. How far into the game was it? It was level 9, I think, out of 22. So basically halfway. But that's okay. Like I don't really mind that much, you know. Cool. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna open up Eternal. And just play a bit of, I don't know, maybe Terrace Nabad just for fun because it's been a while. Yeah, pretty far. Yeah, but it was also like it was an old Ultra Nightmare save that I played like maybe about 3 to 4 weeks ago, and then I played Eternal since then, so I sort of just started from there. Okay, so just have to start the mod loader. Maybe we could do a bit of World End, actually. Maybe let's do a bit of World End. How about that? Let's do a bit of that just to show you guys. Files. And World End. There you go. All right, it's loading up. But yeah, World End is a pretty, I really like it as a level. I think it's a really cool level. Right, play Doom Eternal. Yeah, but pretty far indeed. But it's I think the game gets a lot harder from that point on because they've made quite a few adjustments in the latest patch. So the game definitely gets Okay, why is Eternal not showing up on my OBS? My God. Fuck, I'll just choose my full screen application. There you go. Bounce levels are actually better if you want to do a race or marathon on stream. Kind of a dream for me to do it one day. Yeah, yeah, for sure. By the way, Sharpie, are you working on anything right now? Any new any new shit? And behold, the long loading times when you load up mods. Like when I play vanilla, no issue at all. When I load mods either through Mod Portal or Mod Injector, it just goes super, super slow. It's very, very frustrating. Unfortunately, I'm extremely busy in another project. Okay, is that another modding project? Or like a personal work-related project? Yeah, it's gaming thing elsewhere. Okay. All right. And look at that frame rate compared to Dark Ages. Look at what that RT does to my video, you know, to my system, right? I can only get 100 FPS on Dark Ages. Here, like I got, this area is obviously very demanding right here, but otherwise I get 250, which is super, super nice, right? So the game just feels so... Okay, that's new. Why is nobody attacking me? That's interesting. The Cleveland Den. Look, Dennis. What the fuck is going on here? Look at this. This part of super, yeah, it is super unoptimized for sure. You can't see through the fog. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, fuck, man. Gonna go back to maybe what I can do is... I think the last time I played it through the master level... Yeah, I tried doing that, but maybe I'll try playing it through the master level. And that's Doom Eternal modding for you, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing ever works as it should. And long loading times as well, obviously. Yeah, Dennis, I tried no target, but it didn't work. It did not work, so... Oh man, how slow can you be, bro? This is brutal. Okay. But now the problem is I wonder if it's going to load it, because like now I'm loading up the master level, so I'm wondering if it's just going to load up the vanilla master level and then just put in like the skybox. It doesn't make a difference. with or without cap locks. How's Dark Ages modding doing, by the way? I assume all the Eternal modders are still doing Eternal stuff. Yeah, Dennis, I know, like, it's... I don't know what the fuck is... See, it's just loading up the... Look at this shit. I have to get out of this and then load it up again. Oh, this is annoying. This is really annoying. Sorry guys, this happens when you play mods, unfortunately. But yeah, Dennis, the issue is like when I play vanilla, like when I play the game just, you know, without, you know, the just the vanilla version of the game, no mods, it loads perfectly, it plays, there's no issue. As soon as there's mods included, like whether the mod portal or the mod injector, everything just slows down crazily, right? So I don't know what's up. I really don't know what's up. All right, world end. Let's try this again. I think I read somewhere that this issue can happen every now and then you just have to reload it, and then it starts from scratch, and that's okay. So let's see. But I had issues before resetting my PC as well. Yeah, you see? Like... But Dennis, also the thing is, right? Like this computer is literally 4 or 5 months old. It's clean as fuck. There shouldn't be any issues to begin with. You know what I mean? Like I've installed nothing. Like I basically installed nothing on this computer. It's okay. Let's try this again. Oh, bro, this is annoying. That's why when you get a new PC, I always do a new install of Windows. Can't bother with tech companies fucking things up or doing nothing to actually do something to maintain the performance they promise. Yeah, okay, yeah. All right, let's see. Okay, that works. Okay. See? Is there like a CBT mod for his level? Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Quan made one. Yeah, it's the World Spear Slaughter map, and Dennis also made one actually. I'm not sure if it's CBT. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Dennis' Slaughter map. Yeah. Yeah, that is your World Spirit CBT too, for sure. Yeah. Okay, I'll go play some other games. Maybe I'll come back to the stream if you're still here. Yeah, for sure, bro. Take care and see you soon. Fuck, man. My quick switching is pretty fucked. Oh, bro, what am I doing? What am I doing? Is this winnable with no shield supers? Yeah, for sure. I mean, air control, without air control, I would say no. Well, I mean, it is, but it's just not like... I'm not a fan of doing stuff no air control. Get back into the mood because like... What? I mean, what the fuck is... It's those... I really... One thing I really don't like in this level are those gargoyles. I feel they're super, super annoying. Like, not a fun custom AI at all. Fuck off, bro. Dennis, yeah, I wish Quan would finish his cultist level. Yeah, but I remember that level. What's it called? Is it called cultist based? I think it's called, right? Isn't it? Same with Doom Hunter. Yeah. Cultist Fortress. Okay, that's what it is. Alright, alright. Well, it's like no one here will ever stop playing Eternal. I don't think so. Yeah, I think the people who've been loyal up until this point are probably going to stay loyal for a very long time, right? I think that's a certainty. when the years pass by or when I'm too old. Yeah, but I think that's gonna be it for me as well. Like there's gonna be a moment where I'm not gonna be able to. Yeah, I mean, if veterans keep playing the game for decades, what deems supernatural for newcomers is common business for the vets. I mean, skill will never stop growing. Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, look at people playing Quake for 20, 30 years. Insane aim and movement. Yeah, that's for sure. I think the difference is Quake is a multiplayer game, right? This Doom Dark Ages looks suspiciously like Doom Eternal. Yeah, exactly, bro. Like I was playing Ultra Nightmare and then I died at the Abyssal Forest. The Abyssal Forest. And then I decided to go back to Eternals. I'm just doing a bit of World's End, but I just have to leave in I have to leave in a few minutes. So. Fucking hell. You gotta be kidding me, man. What the fuck? Come on, open up. These guys I really don't like. I really don't like this area from this mod. I think it's so dumb. Played some D again today after what felt like forever, and it was so good. Dark Age is so great, but Eternal is just something else. Yeah, that's also how I feel. Eternal is just, yeah. There's so much freedom with Eternal. It's hard to explain, right? But are we done with these guys here? Fucking hell. And yes, do you also feel like you'll never stop playing this game, or will there be another game comparable? I think it really, to me at least, that really depends on what they do with the Dark Ages DLC. So that really depends on them, right? What? Ouch, come on. Oh man. Not ammo. Man, I completely out of ammo. That's why. Big brain fart there. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. What do you? What about it? Are they going to change the combat loop? I hope they do. I hope they add something to it at least. I mean, what you said about Eternal. Oh, okay. It doesn't matter if I don't play for a month or two. Immediately feel like home and Eternal. Yeah, but it's the same thing about me. Like, I had these. It's funny because, like, you know, I hadn't played Eternal for a very long time, and then I came back to it recently, and then everything flowed super well, and I was playing amazingly. And then, for example, it came back really quickly, and then I felt I was playing even better than I usually do. And then, for example, today I feel like I'm playing like complete trash. So it's Eternal's a funny thing. It's I really have my off days at times. They're gonna add a traffic light at me and force you into a niche unused weapon. I've seen that in a movie. Cool, guys. I'm actually gonna. I have to leave now, unfortunately, but because I have work tomorrow, so I have to get ready for that. But thanks everybody so much for joining. Yeah, thanks Linnaeus, thanks Sharpie, Dennis if you're still there, and whoever else is there. Thank you so much for joining, and yeah, GG's. And I'll probably be on tomorrow as well. I'm not sure if I'll be. Maybe I'll be going back to doing a bit of Dark Ages. I don't know, because I'm kind of running out of mods for Eternal at the moment. So I'll see. I'll see what I feel like. Cool. Cool, guys. Thanks for hanging out and see you soon. Bye.